Good afternoon, same teams. Primal, MGM playing on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is a map that I don't see that often. Matter of fact, I have never gotten to shoutcast it, which is why I'm here right now instead of making food, because I couldn't possibly pass up the opportunity to shoutcast my first match on Watchpoint Gibraltar. So let's do this. Let's follow Stonker like a spectator would instead of like a free cam would, and watch him get onto that point. And Watchpoint Gibraltar, pretty interesting map, I'd say. Can see why it's not played a lot. I feel like it does have something of a defensive advantage for the most part. But let's look at these class consistencies. I see that MGMM is going with a Torbjorn. I want to see where he's building his sentry up there. Vast me hearties. And his teammates are consisting of 2 tanks. 1 support and 2 offense. So a very mixed team, very mixed bag coming from Team MGMM, prepared for almost everything. Opposing them, Primal is going with 2 tanks, 2 offense, and 2 support. Pretty cookie cutter. Let's see. And it looks like they just completely gave up the first point, letting Primal just push entirely in. Okay, I suppose this point is easier to defend than others, but I wouldn't know because I've never seen this map played competitively before. So very cool. Effortless first capture of the payload. Really, it wasn't even contested. Looks like they are, because this was where they made their first stand. I feel like this is not going as well as MGMM is hoping, and I mean there are still a bunch of them alive, and that turret is getting a bunch of kills. I see that Hellhound has her ultimate ready. Cash also has his ultimate ready. The Molten Core, so they definitely have the ult advantage. So can't say they're doing too poorly. In regards to, I don't mean in regards to skill, I mean in regards to positioning and stuff. I just feel like the payload might be moving a little bit faster than they're expecting. Who's got them in his sights? We've got an ultimate happening here, and it didn't work that well, but it did get some damage down. I don't think there are any kills off of that. And here we go. Hellhound not wasting any of those rockets. Pretty much every hit has been on somebody, doing a very good job. The defense, I think I underestimated this defensive point. Sure, the payload was able to push really far. Had the payload successfully hit the checkpoint, that would have been a pretty smashing success for Primal, but because it didn't, they are just entrenching themselves in this little room. There is a large health kit there, there is a sentry there. This is a pretty healthy place to build your little defensive home base. And Primal's going to need to get in there and fix that, and they are attempting to do so, led by Crash and with a Sonic Boom assistance, finishing off the Roadhog before he could really ult. And the turret is down. The turret maker is down, and can they get this? No, they were not able to get Mercy down before a mass ult, meaning they're going to have to finish all these teammates off a second time. Soldier 76 is working on that at the moment, and wow, Crash just going ham with that Soldier 76, and that is a successful checkpoint capture. They only have 2 more checkpoints to go, one of which being the end of the game, and they have 6 minutes and 20 seconds to do it. Very good job on this part. And who is that up there? That is Gojiro, being a very angry gorilla on top of this space station, trying to find a good position to jump in there and start focus firing or something, whatever gorillas feel like doing in the name of combat. Basically taking on 3 people simultaneously, as Winstons have a tendency to do, and then rocketing out when the fight goes south. That payload is still moving and not slowing down. That is Reinhardt up there, who is waiting for his shield to recharge. His Earth Shatter is ready if he wants to play that and get some damage done on the Lucio. But though, that is a Heisen ult happening, followed by Gojiro, who is very mad gorilla. In general, I think Primal is doing a better job than MGM of tagging their ults together. Because as you can see, what happens is one member of their team ults, the other ults about halfway through, and they always keep somebody horrifying, just spreading the damage out everywhere. And to that effect, they're going to push in there. This Pharah has ult, but is probably going to hold it for a time where it's more necessary. Her team is pushing the payload. The opposing team is back there, and they are done with checkpoints. This is all the time they're going to get, but they have so much time, 6 minutes and 49 seconds to push this payload. Here we go. That is Reinhardt is on the front lines. He is still nursing that Earthshake, probably looking for an opportunity to use that, but the elbow curve is not going to make that easy. Though we may be seeing it in a couple seconds or so. Does anybody else have? I see the Lickitung still holding on to her ult as well, but there's not really that many targets at the moment. Who is that? Stonker going with the Soldier 76 ult, assisted by the Hellhound ult. And not really a lot of targets, to be honest. I think that might have been overkill considering the amount of people they had to shoot at. I only saw 1 kill from either of them, and Hellhound has been downed, as has Lickitung, and that is Crash going in as Genji, not any Genji, and a Genji with ult. I want to see that whenever that ends up happening. And I see that his friend Heisen the Roadhog also has his ult prepared. But there are probably too many targets to shoot at successfully. But when it does come to ults, there are, oh my gosh, there are so many ults ready on the point of Primal, though none of them are able to get those off. Looks like Crash's ult whiffed. And now it is MGMM's turn to have all of the ultimates. 5 out of the 6 characters, players, whatever, have their ultimates ready, and that payload is moving backwards, and they're doing a good job of holding. They're going to have to keep doing this for 5 minutes, and I hope that they can keep the momentum up. So there are so many ultimates ready for both teams. I'm sure that we're going to be seeing a lot of them fighting each other at the same time. The sound barrier is down for MGMM and run out, and I see a lot of 0%, meaning that a lot of different players popped their ults, and it's rather surprising how few kills there are. LSD getting some work done as Reinhardt, and it looks like what happened was most ults were popped on MGMM, but if that's the case, I don't think there's been nearly enough kills to make sacrificing almost your entire ult percentage. There are so many ults still sitting on 100%, and the Lucio is down and the sound barrier is up, and Roadhog is just jumping in there with as much damage as he can possibly get. And there's another down. Crash is going live with his ult. Is there anyone he can actually land? He does manage to land a kill on Stonker. There's a good Mercy revive to counteract the damage. Justice raining from above. Doesn't sound like it was very successful. And both teams really am I stuck? There we go. Both teams just jumping onto that control point, and Deednick is going Diva. Interesting decision. See if it pays off. Crash trying to get some work done in the corner over there. A sound barrier for Lucio. Oh, so close to an environmental kill. I've been there, Lucio. After playing Pyro in TF2, the air blast controls. There's the opposing player has a lot of control over not falling to their death. And there we go, a very good Earthshake by LSD to either kill or assist in killing a number of the offensive teammates. And for the most part, most members of the offense are getting killed by the defense, and it does look like they are going to manage to hold for a little bit longer. But Winston is just not dying, and that is with the help of the Mercy, who manages to get out with a sliver of health. No, is down. No, I do see that Crash does have his ult ready. But Genjis work best when they have the opportunity to ult in private and away from the attention of everyone else. And his team's not really in a position to give him the distraction that he needs, but it looks like he's going to get in there just a little bit. 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. MGMM doing a very good job holding this map. I do see that Genji has gone ult. There's a self-destruct happening for Diva, which maybe she wasn't aware of it, but she did force Genji, because Genji couldn't run out there without getting annihilated by the self-destruct. So she did do a pretty good job of wasting Genji's ult, but the rest of the team was able to swoop in there with some well-timed kills, and that is going to be the match. Nobody able to get out there in time, but they did hold for a very long time. right. I just had an idea. I mean, I'm spectating. Whenever we play these payload matches, I should really just bust out my cell phone and keep a record of how long it's taking each team, and that way I can actually say for sure which team wins on both sides. Like, isn't that just an amazing idea? I don't know why it's taken me almost a week of watching random payload matches before I actually think of that. But there's no real need to keep track of this one because I didn't keep track of the one right before it. So that's probably something I'm going to start doing next time I shoutcast. Because I think today is, I think this is going to be my last game for today. And looks like from the team consistencies, I can see that MGMM is going with 2 medics, 2 offense, and 2 unknowns. So spooky. And on the other team, we are going with Team Primal, going with 2 support, 2 offense, and 2 tanks. Very cookie cutter. Keep the HP, the DPS, and the healing all pretty much balanced out. And on the other side of the coin, we have 1 tank, 3 offense, and 2 support for MGMM. And one of those supports is Soldier 76. So there's going to be a lot of healing happening on that part. Let's see, is there anyone with a turret or something to set up? No. Adjust my chair. No real need to prepare any defenses. Not that the game could know that, but all of these characters just basically hold their gun and shoot at things. So both teams waiting 25 seconds for this match to start. Primal had pretty good time. They slowed down a few times, most notably near the end there. MGMM doing a pretty good job of holding off that payload for as long as conceivably possible, wiping a couple pushes, and really mostly keeping on the ball. And here we go. Let us follow. Looks like they have decided to split up. They're pushing Reinhardt out through the front door, and everybody else is taking the left corridor. Primal staying much further forward than MGMM did. MGMM basically gave them the first checkpoint. Primal isn't interested in even giving them this corner. They are going to have to retreat for the most part. Though not particularly willingly, and they are still trying to shoot as much spam down that corridor as possible. But the first checkpoint is going to be captured almost as quickly as Team Primal was able to capture it. Pretty much just non-stop push through that sector. And Lickitung is managing to stay alive. And I see that whereas MGM really liked hiding in this little cubby that my camera is in right now, Primal is just staying right out in the open. And don't know if that's working for them. I mean, they are staying alive, but they're taking a lot of health damage while doing it. Though with 3 healers, they are healing the damage right back and nobody's dying. Even Heisen, who is pushing in there, but not overextending, is able to get out pretty easily without severe repercussions. I see that they are deciding to go up. Stonker looks ready to pop the tactical visor ult, and let's see if that happens. He's the only person with ult on the field, not counting both of the medics, also known as mercies. And looks like Primal has decided to retreat up into the rafters and play a more 3-dimensional defense, which is effective in one way, especially considering NGM is pretty much ignoring the cart. And I see that Stonker used his ultimate. I don't think he got that many kills because I see a lot of people still alive, and the opposing team is brought back to life with the help of Mercy's ult, meaning that the ult advantage now goes to Primal until that. Yes, that is going to bring the defense back. They're not giving up this control point that quickly. They're going to keep pushing the offense back for as long as possible, though they are not going to be able to stop this capture forever. I'm under the opinion there are too many red people on the map right now surrounding the control point. The control point is barely a foot away from being captured by the payload, but they are definitely not giving it up without a fight. They do not want this last payload. And who is that going live? That is Genji being played by Denis Dink. getting a lot of damage but no kills. And the person that got the damage on was Roadhog, who's going to just heal it. Am I stuck under the payload? Is that what keeps happening? Okay. And wow, I'm very, very impressed with Primal's ability to stop that capture. Several different times I thought that that was almost a certain cap, but I have been proven wrong by Team Primal. Though they are definitely at an ult disadvantage. I think they had to blow a lot of their ultimates to keep that payload capture from happening, meaning that with just a little bit of help, the team should be able to push in there. Lucio's Sonic Pulse giving his team some defenses, and here we see Soldier 76 going with the ultimate and getting so many kills. Good lord, that is almost certainly going to be a capture. And oh my gosh, there we go, bringing the offensive or bringing the defense back to life as she dies, so that they can hold back this cart just a little bit longer, forcing MGMM's Lucio to pop his sound bear. I'm not even sure why he did that. They had so many heals. Nobody was particularly low. I think I would have held on to that if I were the Lucio on MGMM. But the payload is still rolling through slowly but surely. The defense kind of out of position to do anything about it. They seem like they are more interested in defending the checkpoint itself than preventing the payload from rolling towards the checkpoint. They've been, for the most part, doing a good job of keeping the payload stalled, but there's a lot of time on that clock, so there's definitely nothing for the offense to be ashamed about. 4 minutes and 36 seconds is not a small amount of time to push a payload a couple feet. Farah is going to go down, and once again, Uber or ult advantage, sorry, I come from the TF2 community, the ult advantage definitely still remains in the hands of MGMM, though a lot of their people who have ult just got killed, and there's nothing they can do about it. And let's see, medics are both doing good and have Uber, are healing their teams, but look at how many ultimates are ready on MGMM. All of them but Cash's. They need to get in there. They need to do some pushes and capture the next checkpoint, score some time. They seem to be hanging back. I don't know what they're waiting for. Nobody's building ult, so it's not very valuable time that they're wasting. And let's see, a LSD is down. And basically the first person to pop ult, I'm going to jump over and scan them because there's just, there we go, rocket barrage. Oh no! That rocket barrage was less than successful, though they did manage to pick Kif's the medic, meaning there will be no revives, and any kills that his many ult-having teammates can pull out. Diedrich getting some damage and a kill and pulling out successfully. And there we go, very well timed. I know I said that Primal does a better job of comboing ults, but in that particular case, there was a couple ults, one right after another, and oh, did they really stop the capture one more time? How does Primal keep doing it? But no, that payload is not yet captured, and more time is going down. LSD, very lucky that he was not fully rezzed in time for that Earth Shatter. Going to be able to finish the opposing Reinhardt. Was the payload... No, the payload was not yet captured, though Gojiro is the one thing, the one reason that's not happening, and that is finally going to be the capture. I am very amazed with the amount of time that Primal managed to burn off the clock through some very clutch defenses. Let's see. Lickitung is flanking around the back with ultimate. Nothing really to do about it, though, and is going to be finished off by Hellhound. But there are no ultimates ready on Team MGMM's part, meaning that Primal pretty much has carte blanche to push them back on this next one. And here we go. Solus going with the Tactical Visor, finishing off Hellhound and Solus. Did I say Solus with the Tactical Visor? Solus died with the Tactical Visor. Crash with the Tactical Visor going in, showing everyone why Soldier 76 works on any team. Lickitung still holding on to that ult, waiting for a good opportunity to use it. I don't see anybody else with prepared ults until I looked at Heisen, who is ready to go ham with his blunderbuss. And there's a long-range Farah ult. For the most part, looks like a lot of players on Team MGM are really far, I don't want to say out of position, because they appear like they are where they want to be, But the payload's not going anywhere while so many people are far off. And they are regrouping back on the payload. Who's tactical advisor? Stonker. Stonker going with the tactical advisor and getting a lot of damage out. Though a lot of that damage is on an ulting Roadhog. So not going to happen with that, though he is brought back to life. Good ult by Mercy to bring a bunch of deceased players back to life. Who was that? That was Lickitung trying to deal some damage, not succeeding. And they are pushing through 3 minutes, and this payload is getting dangerously close to the checkpoint. And that is going to be the capture. A relatively quick time. I'm not even sure which one of these two teams was faster, but that was Watchpoint Gibraltar. Both teams able to push to the final checkpoint, and a very good performance from both teams.
Heroes never die. For us.
Soldier 76 is such a fun class to play. You just keep shooting that assault rifle everywhere. He's one of my favorite classes. I have a tendency to play him whenever Lucio and Mercy are taken because I like healing. It's what I do in this game. So I am probably done shoutcasting for the night. I hope you enjoyed the matches. There'll be more tomorrow. Have a very good night, ladies and gentlemen, and keep playing Overwatch.